Hey y'all. So COVID-19 has impacted me just as everybody else, I assume, globally. But for me, it has done something that I feel is propel me. I have realized, I normally joke around and I tell people, look, I don't have enough insurance to die. But when I think about it, I also counter with, and I don't have enough to get sick, not in America. Do you know what those hospital bills are going to cost me? Yes, I have insurance. And I have insurance that does like typical employer based insurance. It covers up to an amount. You have to pay your amount that you go in. So, at any rate, the things that it has done is propel me to say, I definitely have to get to the motherland. I'm not okay with dying and not have making it to the motherland. So, I'm not one of those people who uses the word Africa interchangeably. I actually don't like it, even when it comes from native born Africans. I prefer to name the countries I'm talking about. And as I remind people, if you follow me on any parts of social media, I make it very clear and I repeat it. Africa is a continent. Africa is a continent with 54 countries. I mean, it depends on what time of year, what time frame we're speaking of. It could be 53, 55, 50, look, but 54 is what we understand as the standard number right now. And of those 54, my citizenship will permit me to enter 23 places that require no visa or will give me a visa upon arrival. One of the places I want to travel to, which is Nigeria, of course. And we had this issue back in 2017. Like, I think we bought the tickets in 2016 and we were going October 20. I prefer to travel October of every year. It's just easier for me in the States. It's cheaper, things of that nature. But Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian Airlines canceled our trip, just completely canceled, saying it was a mistake fare. They didn't mean to get it to that amount, blah, 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 blah. Boo, 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 boo. It irked me beyond belief. So I am destined and determined to make it happen now more than ever. I would love to leave right now today. Yeah, December 2020, but COVID is real. I definitely hate the test. I've had two, one in passing and the second one for a procedure, the colonoscopy. I have to be all, it's not like that. I'm not doing elective surgeries or anything. Not that I'm against it for whomever needs it. I'm just explaining my position. So for now, I'm hoping to do 5 things and it reaches y'all in the global sphere of YouTube. And I've noticed whenever I make comments about the motherland, yes, I say the motherland, comma, the continent, comma, places I'm going. Individuals seem to really get involved. And you may laugh or mock it wherever you are in the world, but I trust in God. I trust in the higher being. We can call it what you like. I know this much. Either it's going to happen in a safe manner or it'll be an experience I get to have. But I trust in God that blesses us all, that humanity will be the top thing. So feel free to reach out in the comments, say something. This is unedited. Mostly because I don't know how and I don't spend the time to. And today I need to clean up. I'm finally feeling better. I have 5 goals. My hands are ashy because I'm always washing them and I have eczema. 5 goals. In no particular order, but they're very serious to me. I want to meet people. Consistently when I go through customs and throughout Europe or trying to return to the Americas, I get questioned by people that look like me consistently. You're American? And it's always like that. I mean, it's never like, excuse me, ma'am, are you American? It's like, you have my passport. You see all these other Americans with me. Why would I be the only one that's not an American with all these folks? And I know some of y'all are like, what? That's a turn off. Listen, we may not be homogeneous like the Koreas, North and South, or Japan, but in America, we genuinely are. It's like no one likes to talk about this or openly admit it out loud. Yes, it is a melting pot. It is an amalgam of people, places, and cultures. However, in America, just like I trust in any other place you live in the world, you can choose to self-isolate. We have Chinatown, like in multiple cities. And when I thought I was going to be slick enough and buy a place in Chinatown in Chicago, my friends warned me, no, you won't. I'm like, but that's illegal. I know the law. Well, we have cultural norms that are upheld and respected for different people. Think of it as safe space. So, number two, I desire to learn. I have to learn. I'm not walking away. And I know some friends are going to be like, did you go to every slave and museum? What's wrong with you? Or did you go? Look, my own family hates that I would love to go look at the historical structures. To quote one of my elders, as we were in Mexico and I wanted to go to Chichen, I don't want to just go look at a bunch of rocks. I was like, oh my word. Okay. Well, how about I go by myself and you stay behind? That kind of situation. Then they want to dictate no. So even for this trip, I plan on bouncing around. If I have to go by myself, great. I'm okay with that now. If I die, I die. So I would rather die doing what I want than living a humdrum life of work, home, work, home. And now there is no work home. It's been blended for a couple of years because I've worked remotely. But I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything, and that's not okay. So I do have my own goals that also include have fun. Yes, I want to have fun, and I plan on making that happen. So those things I stereotypically won't do, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to always, when I travel, challenge myself. I eat like the local. I live like the locals. I do what I can. I've had a few friends already say, oh yeah, they'll meet me along the way, just like they did when I was bouncing around Europe. But yeah, we're going to a hotel. Because I'll tell y'all, I've been looking at Airbnbs and I'm so afraid of the propane tank that gases the stove. I was looking in Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, and South Africa, and Nigeria. So 5 places so far. And I must say, every time I saw that propane tank next to the stove in the kitchen just randomly, and I know y'all going to be like, but you're in Louisiana, y'all do crawfish boils, and we cook outside. Yes, and we use the propane tank. This is an occasion I know my limitations. I stay away from it. I let whomever, the men folk, the elders, the kids, the children next door, whomever puts together that propane tank, baby, y'all can have it. I'll go. What else you need me to do? That's just me. That's a personal thing. Like, I don't like heights. That's just me. One of the things that shows up. So I know you're like, well, that's where the challenge comes in. That's where the have fun comes in. I'll rise above my fear because this time my desire is stronger than my fear. My desire to bounce around, feel the soil, smell the air, entertain and interact with the people is stronger than any fear I have. So I want to go, which is a great segue. I want to satiate this calling. I had a calling, I feel, or I had it on my heart to move as early as 2008 to get to the Carolinas. And I was sitting in the Midwest, just not happy. And something just kept pulling me to the Carolinas. That's North and South Carolinas for those of y'all who are part of the international audience and may not know. Hell, right here in America may not know. Anywho, it's okay. I couldn't explain it. My parents relentlessly questioned me about it, wanted to know why. I was like, I don't know. Maybe our people came through there on the slave auction block. I have no idea, but I just know that's where I feel I need to be, and that's where I want to go. I knew I didn't want to go to Atlanta. I didn't want to be in that traffic. So, yes, traffic drives me on a whole nother level, and it propels me, and it'll push me to either accomplish or avoid some things. Like, even when I was looking at a job in Chicago, interview, got offered the job, I was like, oh, I have to live within so many blocks of here. I got to walk to work because I know who I am. I get really worn down in traffic. It changes my whole disposition, my mood. It's not exciting to me. And so for those of y'all who are going to be in the comments, well, you know, Lagos has traffic. Yes, I've seen it. I've heard it. Not just heard it through a YouTube video. I'm hearing it as I'm talking to friends or individuals via phone. But I expect that to be like the New York, LA. And honestly, New York traffic is not as bad as even Atlanta. It's just not. It moves, okay? And thankfully, a lot of people commute on foot. Atlanta, everybody drives. And they got 9 lanes and they still have traffic. 6 a.m. in the morning, you sitting in traffic. at night in traffic. I'm like, look, this is why I let it go, because I used to say Chicago was the worst for traffic. But honey, you can come through 10, 12, 2 in the morning in Chicago and speed. Whew. Atlanta, you'll catch the club crowd. And it's like, it's COVID. Why aren't y'all at home being safe? Okay? And yes, I've had to travel during COVID, but it's only been by car. I just don't want to fly. With that, I need to satiate that calling. And I have the calling. I need to get to the motherland. I need to see what's there. I need to see what I like, what I don't like. What can I be involved in? And how long can I stay, and then figure out where do I want to stay. Yeah. Simple as that. I don't know. I just look forward to being in an environment. I feel like it'll be like, I went to an HBCU. I feel like that's just a sprinkle of what I could get on the continent. And I could be wrong. It could be totally the worst thing ever. However, I don't think so. That's all. So I'm super excited. Encouraging others is my last thing, and I'll wrap this up. So it's either encouraging others to travel. Whenever I travel, I don't make YouTubes. I never did. I just tell people, this is what I paid. This is how you can get it. This is how you find the deal. So like when we first got, because I used to travel without a passport. Canada threatened me. So I got a passport because I couldn't believe someone was like, we won't let you out. Let me out. I don't live here. I'm not ever trying to be your resident. I don't want to be domiciled here. Honey, I'm an American. You will let me out. So Canada made it real clear though. No, they have authority over you in a whole nother way. And me not knowing the law in any other opportune way showed me, ooh, you ain't got to worry, baby. I'll get that passport. I even paid for expedited fees to get the passport when we left for Europe. Although I was confident we could get on the plane and go, I wasn't risking it. Because Canada took my biometrics and I felt like they may have me in the system somewhere. So at any rate, I like to encourage people. It can be done. You know, I'm from small town USA. Maybe I think we're in the top 100 now. If not, we're 101. We are a super black city though. I come from a poor working class. I mean, but when we were poor growing up, it was just like, yeah, whatever. So it's possible. I have no shame in discussing this is what it is. These are my mistakes. Maybe you can learn from it. If you can't, hey, take it for what it's worth. And I'm sure because this is YouTube, there'll be individuals to let me know something different. I'm always perplexed though now because I have been taking in a lot of videos that folks are shocked. Like, a sister, she's an elder. I'm in Ghana, met with Woody Maya. I hate to say his name wrong, but Mr. Ghana baby. That eating with hands was something we just don't do it in the States. It was weird to me because I grew up eating with my hands. We ate greens and cornbread with our hands. You eat whatever you eating with your hands. But I understand there's this movement of folks who don't even like chitlins. I mean, I no longer eat chitlins, but I'm not going to stunt on nobody and act like I never ate them. I ate them for years. I used to eat so many chitlins, I got myself sick off of them. That's why I don't eat them anymore. It's not because the chitlins, I had no idea where they came from and what for. And I mean, I was also a child. You do as what's given to you by your parents or the elders and move on. Like, I don't understand. People seem to believe there's all these personal freedoms you get growing up as a kid. Maybe in other places, but I'll tell you this. My little town, Louisiana, my area, those around me, I like to tell people I think we're as close to the homeland in terms of practicing culture and principles, how important family is. How the no talking back, how kids are automatically wrong when I was growing up. You just, whatever you said was not true if an adult said otherwise. The end. Short, hard stop. Or you get hit. Other adults could whoop you. I know from talking to friends from the East Coast, from New York to the Carolinas, they didn't grow up like that. And that's cool. I don't judge it. You may not like it. Hell, I just wrote on a YouTube, like in my house, don't close no doors around here. I'm sure I heard that growing up, and I embodied it, having to help with nieces, nephews, and other kids. And yeah, of course they have privacy. Close the door. But whenever you finish, open that door back up. Ain't no telling what you're in there trying to hide. So you'll hear my code switching come through. Usually it's when I'm upset, super happy, or if I talk to someone from home, it really pours heavy and thick. So the fifth thing is I'd like to break some of the stereotypes. We do have black folks out here eating with our hands. We do have black folks who are used to an outhouse. My mom and them grew up with one. No indoor plumbing. My mama would come visit us and we would complain. In my home, people, so there's Charmin. I prefer the red Charmin. Then someone in the house prefer the blue Charmin. And there's a real distinct demarcation line. Your Charmin stays on your side of the house. My Charmin comes in my bathroom or in my hall closet and no one touches it. Yeah. It's just, it's understood. And once I think it got mixed up, we were living downtown and I was like, ooh, what's wrong with this toilet paper? And my mama looked at us with such disgusting contempt. And she finally said something. This is hilarious because to know me, you will see I'm amalgamated. I got a lot to say. My mother is the exact opposite. And I tell people all the time, you do know I have two parents. So what you think you know about me, you assume that's my mother. Just the opposite. I didn't get here through osmosis. I have a father. So I have more of his spirit when it comes to personality and talking. And my mother, she's just not a talker. The end. But when she does talk, it was like, I can't believe y'all are over here fighting about red and blue. What is this red and blue? We explained the toilet paper. Red is a little stronger, it's tougher. Blue is softer. If you had to use leaves like I did, leaves. Look, the kids didn't even have to get shocked and upset and offended. Honey. Mother is upset and offended. Leaves. We have went hunting. We have went camping. We still ain't used no leaves. Like, what? So, these kind of things I feel, I'm not some anomaly. There are people in America that don't have indoor plumbing. It's not just limited to the South. I had to just tell some friends in Chicago back in November. No, there's a place right outside of Chicago that is super poor. Like, they're beyond the poverty line. They don't have running water for the town. It's literally on a pump system. Everybody has it. I learned about them after Hurricane Katrina because I think Oprah exposed it, or Oprah gave them a spotlight. Not that it was exposed, but there's so many other things, such as not everyone has a car. There's real struggle in America. There are individuals with chickens running around. We got dirt roads. Yes, we do in America. Don't let nobody tell you different. I mean, they have not poured cement. I'm not just talking about not having sidewalks. I mean, they made the road themselves. Hell, going up to my grandmother and my grandfather. They were divorced, stayed in separate places. That still remains. And I think there's value. If I have to start taking pictures and inputting it into the YouTubes, I will. So I can highlight. I watched Five Bloods with Spike Lee. And they were in the jungles of Vietnam. And it felt like, oh, let's go into my Big Daddy's. Big Daddy is my maternal grandfather. He's since passed, rest his soul, but that process was real. We would have to walk at least a mile or two to get from the house to the end of the road, just go get the mail. And we would pick berries along the way. And that was real farmland. Like the cows, the chickens, the horses, the goats. Ooh, those chickens. The roosters would chase you. If the goats wasn't messing with you, then the roosters were. Simple as that. But that fresh well water came up good and cold every time. I don't care how long you worked in that field. That's another thing. When I go home, I still work in the field. And people are like, friend, field? What kind of slavery is going on over there in Louisiana? It's not that. Look, I got gardeners around me. I have former farmers that still see the value of bringing up their own food and crops. I'm the kid that I didn't even like the fish. I still won't eat the fish that they catch. It needs to come from the grocery store with a receipt. Yes, I know better now, but it's ingrained. So I just can't shake it. I don't want to see the eyes on the fish. I don't care for it. And honestly, I know that's me. And that's something I have to get over. So maybe in traveling, I'll be able to do that. With that being said, I'll wrap this up because this went much longer and I need to make it shorter. But 5 things I want to be able to accomplish by going around the motherland: meet people, learn, have fun, satiate this calling that I have and encourage others while breaking down stereotypes. Thank you for your time.